Just one dance before we run out of chances.
Me?
Love Actually is so much bigger than I ever thought it would ever be, or any of us did, that it's sort of a universal sort of connection that people have.
Yeah, the universal connections that people have to the Universal Studios release. I don't think Laura Linney knew the pun that she was making there, but she's such a good actress, who knows? Keep on growing, 19 years after the film's initial release. Back in 2003, the film, which was made for $40 million, made a modest $60 million at the domestic box office, an impressive $187 million internationally, for an incredible $247 million worldwide. But even that amount of money doesn't foreshadow that the movie is going to be seen as a classic 19 years later. And one of the most discussed aspects of the movie is the character of Sarah, played by three-time Oscar nominee Laura Linney.
And how long have you been in love with Carl, our enigmatic chief designer?
While Laura thought that audiences would envy her character when she was doing press for the film 19 years ago,
there are going to be many, many people who are very jealous of me in this movie with him. Yep.
2 years, 7 months, 3 days, and I suppose an hour and 30 minutes.
the reaction was very different, and she discussed that on the Graham Norton Show in 2019.
But people feel sorry for you.
They feel very sorry for me.
Yeah, while the movie mostly features feel-good romantic moments for its cast of characters, arguably the most likable character in the film, or at least the character you're rooting for the most, Sarah, ends up without a romantic love in the end.
Hey, how you doing?
Sarah's brother ruins her chances with Carl, which left audiences not feeling love for the end of that storyline, but Laura says, not so fast.
I really believe I got the best kiss in that movie. Hands down. Hands down, I got the best kiss. Sorry.
Okay, that's done.
Plus, just appreciate that Laura had a great time making the film.
God, I was so happy to be there. I loved it so much. I just loved being around those actors. It was just heaven to me.
Of course, the four-time Emmy winner would be modest about her own stature, but the experience was also a therapeutic one for Laura.
We were both very brokenhearted when we made that movie. He had just been dumped, I had just been dumped. And I remember the day we were gonna go shoot this, and we both sort of slumped in the van. And he was like, Laura, my heart is broken. I was like, so is mine.
Good night.
Good night.
And I was like, well, all day long we get to make each other feel better. And I think there is a sweetness to the scene because of that.
Like, that's nice, Laura? But what about Sarah? She deserved to get it on.
Good night, Sarah.
Night, Chris.
Well, 14 years later, Laura's involvement in the 16-minute sequel made headlines, and audiences finally got what they were hoping for Sarah.
Hello, darling. Absolutely. I'm almost finished. How are you?
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Perfect.
I love you very much.
In the Red Nose Day Actually sequel, which I think was created purely for this update, Sarah's brother is nowhere to be seen, and she was busy trying to keep her horny McDreamy husband, Patrick Dempsey, in check.
You've got to stop calling me, or else I'm never going to get this finished.
I just can't resist the way you always answer the phone.
I am hanging up now. I will see you later.
Whew, our hearts could now rest easy that Sarah got some action. This was such important, noteworthy news that it made headlines at Time magazine. I do remember seeing that movie in the movie theaters back in 2003. And yeah, that one aspect of Sarah just kind of left a disappointing taste in my mouth. This year, Laura told Diane Sawyer for ABC News why Sarah is still an example of love.
You know, love actually is not just positive love. It's also the repercussions of love and the responsibility of love and the heartbreak of love.
Yeah, I get it. Sarah was loyal, and love sometimes means obligations. But Sarah was still stuck at the end of that movie. And I know that writer-director Richard Curtis spoke about the fact that he didn't want all these storylines to end happily. So there's Emma Thompson's character, who isn't exactly glowing at the end of the film. But Sarah's the one who's truly alone still at the end of the movie. Like, her brother isn't offering her any kind of support. Like, I wonder if Richard actually underestimated how much people are drawn to Laura Linney. She goes beyond just being likable. You could argue that she's a subtle American sweetheart along the same lines of Sandra and Julia. So you can't just leave Laura Linney hanging like that. Don't make us call Wendy Bird, because she will take care of this real fast.
They listened to me.
But yeah, was Sarah's hookup fail something that always bothered you about Love Actually, or was the familiar love enough for you?